What's up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, everybody out there, it's Philip 20. I know I'm late. You're probably really unsatisfied with me on the channel. But hey, I got another update. We have hit 12.2 kilowatts on the solar array. We got 3 classic charge controllers. One is a 250 and then 2 are 150s. The first one I bought, it was around $700. The second one, it was $225. So the first one's here, the second one is down there. That was $225. And I bought that classic 250 for $250. Now, I've got a lot on that classic, but it don't get hot at all. It has about 12 panels, 327 watts. You can do the math, and that's how much that one classic is running. This classic here is running 14 panels, 227 watts, and then this classic is running 15 panels, 250-ish watts, or 3,750 watts is what the solar array on there is running. Daily, I make a lot of power. 12.2 kilowatts is set up, but I won't get the peak of it because that charge controller limits itself to 58 amps. And it can run probably around 80 to 90 amps if there was it was allowed to run that. So I could get more power out of the solar array, but I don't need it. Let's just face it, I don't need it. I got a lot of power because I run Bitcoin miners. So I run, just your regular Bitcoin miners. You got the S15 that I'm running. I'm running the T9, and then I'm running an S9. So I've got those 3 Bitcoin miners, plus I got a Litecoin miner which runs, and I've flashed them with different firmware, which I don't recommend doing because I think it's killed one of the circuit boards on the Litecoin miner. The Litecoin miner is L3++, 580 megahash, which it's a pretty good one. It's not really amazing, actually, but it does really fine. Litecoin's a really easy coin to mine if you wanted to mine it, but you don't make tons of money on it. I mean, you get a good amount for mining with one miner. So if you wanted to jump in on something that you think might go up in the future, which, it used to be several $100s, but now it's like $50 or whatever it is. I haven't checked Litecoin a lot. I keep an eye on Bitcoin. But we're talking about solar power. So I got 12.2 kilowatts of solar power. So, these work great in the daytime. If it's raining, I can still run on solar power. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's raining or not. I'm always on solar power since I turned off the miners from running continuously dead. I run the miners continuously for 2 weeks, and it automatically switch on and off and absorbs all the power I can with the solar array, and then it switches to the grid power. And then after that 2 weeks, I switch it off, and then the excess power goes into the Bitcoin miners, all 4 of them, which is 4.5 kilowatts continuous. And this machine is running it well. Now, I got 2 more panels. It'll bring it up to 12.9 kilowatts or so. When it's done, 12.8, 12.9 kilowatts of solar power. Again, I don't really need a lot more. I don't mind having more when it's raining though. So having an extra 50 watts during rain, severe cloudy weather, it's pretty nice to have. So I haven't really went dead for 2 weeks. It's been cloudy and everything. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Occasionally You know, a day here, a day there, I get full sunlight, and it charges the batteries up and then runs the Bitcoin miners for 5 hours. So it charges the batteries up first and then runs the Bitcoin miners as a waste dump. You know, the biggest drawback I feel like is the battery systems are so much more expensive, and they're dangerous because the chemical has a giant amount of power. So, you know, the giant amount of power is pretty difficult to deal with. I would be concerned, and that's why I got the shell over top of it. Hopefully it contains it if it ever has a problem. I'd really like to see home flywheel batteries that are encased, that are safe. You can find these home flywheel batteries, and they're not even listed as a price. People don't even list these things as prices. I don't know why. They don't want to sell them to people in homes. They hold like 30, 40 kilowatts. You can discharge them, you know, totally, completely dead quickly, and fully charge them in 4 hours to 30 kilowatts. I mean, that's amazing, you know. And if you can do that, you can run a lot of power, and it doesn't cycle, doesn't matter. So that's one thing, you know. You can get 20, 30 years out of these flywheel batteries versus chemical batteries. And the only drawback is they're more expensive. You know, they're more expensive. I don't know why, because the metal itself, for one that weighs like 10,000 pounds, is $400 right now. Metal is cheap. And then you just need an electric generator motor. Electric generator, permanent magnet motor. And I don't know, I haven't built one. I haven't seen how they're built. I'd love to go and see how they're built. But those batteries are the way to go. If you had the opportunity to use one of those batteries, then you're definitely going to be grateful. You probably don't want to get one that has your standard bearings. You probably want to get one that doesn't have standard bearings. It has magnetic floating bearings, which are probably the reason why they're so much more expensive. But hey, it's all right. They used to run a bus on some regular bearings, and the bearings would die out quickly, and they just had to rebuild them, and it was expensive to keep on fixing them, and it was hard to fix. So that's one of the biggest problems. Now my Magnum, I really need to get back on this one and get it started up and running again. I've had it off for several months. Ever since I turned this machine on, I've had it off. Subscribe and stick around for the channel. I still got more stuff that I plan on coming out. I've had some injuries and I wasn't able to do a whole lot. So things had slowed down for me. I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, and it's just a lot of pain to do things. So sorry I haven't been too motivated to make videos. And I've actually got a project with a steam engine that I'm trying to build, and I'm going to run it off an air compressor so you guys can understand the simulation till I can find a steam boiler that is affordable and reasonable and safe, you know. And I still need to do more research on steam boilers. I mean, I've worked on steam boilers for, you know, houses, but a high pressure steam boiler is different. So it's important to have the right type of steam boiler. For a steam engine, it would be a solid fuel way to collect energy. I'd like to do that and just pick up free wood off, you know, something falls down, tree limb falls down here and there. I could take that and turn it into mechanical energy. So, because the carbon's going to be released anyways. I mean, I'm not going down, cutting down trees, looking for wood and buying firewood. What I'll do is I'll just find free wood that's going to be, you know, decomposing anyways, and just use it as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. And that way, you know, I can make a little bit of energy and Bitcoin at the same time. So, but I'm gonna show that project coming up next. See you next time. Peace out.